أهلا وسهلا فيكم إلى جنشن إمباكت. في هذه الحلقة بعد غياب، يعني أنا في عندي لسه كوميشنز، في عندي كثير رزن، في عندي شغلات تانية. اللي بدي أفرجيكم إياه إنه أنا فتحت هذا الإبريق أخيرا، إبريق الشاي اللي الواحد بيفوت جواته، اللي أكيد ما بيخرق أي شيء من قوانين الفيزياء. يعني كلياتنا بنعرف إنه إبريق الشاي الإنسان بيقدر يفوت جوات إبريق الشاي. أنا ما بعرف عن إيش عم تحكوا يعني. إذا أنتم ما بتقدروا تفوتوا جوات إبريق الشاي معناتها في خطأ فيكم. فإيه المهم، فنحن هلا رح ننتقل للمهمة التالية، وأنا في عندي كذا مهمة من مهمات الأركون، في عندي مهمة من مهمات بنت. فأنا بفكر إنه ندخل بوحدة من مهمات الأركون. ففي عندي هاي المهمة هي الوحيدة اللي بقدر أفوت عليها. الباقيات لأنه في عليهم إشارة إنه ما بقدر أخدم، بس في هاي سيجي سانسيت هاي بقدر أروح عليها. فخلينا نشوف. هذه المهمة إلى الخريطة، إلى التليبورت بالضبط. فهاي بهاي المنطقة من هون، إذا نطيت من فوق الجبل هذا بقدر أنزل عليها بسرعة. فخلينا هلا نحاول نوصل عليها بسرعة. أوكي هي هنيك تحت، تمام بالضبط، هذا اللي بدي إياه. وكمان عملت شغلات اللي هي إني أنا جبت هدول كمية كبيرة من هدول الأوراق عشان أقدر أستعملهم بتطوير الشخصيات. كمان جمعت أكل، كمان جمعت شغلات تانية بالخلفية. جمعتها بحيث إنه أنتم ما تضطروا تستنوني وأنا عم بجمعهم. حتى في سلاح جديد أخذته، بعتقد إنه هذا السيف، أعتقد إنه هذا هو سلاح كتير جيد. قررت إني أخذه. أعطيته سيف كويس، رمح كويس لميكا كمان، ما بعرف إذا فرجيتكم إياه. فهيك هلأ صارت القصة. وين أنا لازم أروح؟ بهذا الاتجاه. أوكي أنا ما بتذكر كان في هون هاي الأماكن، البناء كلها ما كانت موجودة على حد علمي. كان في بس هداك القصر اللي هناك بس. هاي أماكن البناء كلها كأنيتها طلعت جديد، ما عندي فكرة. هاي مشان القصر؟ هاي مشان القصر
God, I can't believe my eyes.
ولا شو؟
How can she lift that massive rock all by herself? She's got... Oh, mighty Adeptus, please give me your blessing so that in the coming year I may reap a more bountiful salary.
Okay.
This is top tier in size and quality, and the condition it's in is quite simply immaculate. Congratulations, this item is approved for submission.
Okay, والله أنت خارقة، قوية جدا، قدرت تجيبها لحالها.
I'm going to award you full marks for the Sunset Vermilionite item. May I take your name?
My name isn't important. I'm not even here to compete. I was just delivering this for some other people. They should be here any minute now.
ما بدها تاخذ الشهرة، هي ما مهتمة.
And Ningguang's little helper.
Ah, so you're the ones behind this. No wonder. The rarest talent turns in the rarest plastrite specimen. But I have to correct you on one point. It's not helper, it's secretary.
سكرتيرة وليست خدامة.
Okay then, Miss Secretary, what do you think of the rock we found? Pretty amazing, right?
In truth, it is the finest piece of plastrite we have received so far.
واو كويس.
If everything goes according to plan, we will use this piece in the foundation of the Jade Chamber, which will enable us to proceed to the next stage of construction.
Okay.
As a side note, Lady Ningguang has rented some dwellings in the nearby area to serve as accommodations for the contestants. If you need a place to rest, you are welcome to stay there.
Okay. إذا ناسنا بنروح بننام بهذه الأماكن
Now, please excuse me. As you
خصصتوها.
can see, there is still a lot of work to do on the building site.
Shenhua, just now on the way over, pretty much everyone was singing your praises.
Oh, really?
What kind of reaction is that? So strange. Aren't you happy about it? Whenever Paimon gets praised, Paimon can't help but hold her head up high and break into a big smug smile.
I've had similar compliments before. They call me an Adeptus.
Okay.
Treat me with great deference and respect, as if I'm set apart from the common folk.
Yeah, 'cause that's how adepti are. At least the ones we've met are pretty unique and reclusive too. Way different than normal people.
كأنه هي ما عاجبة إنها تكون من الأدبتاي.
But I am not.
Shenhe?
I'm fine. I've been exerting myself quite a lot ever since we set foot in that abode. I'm just a little fatigued.
Well, Byron said that there are some makeshift hotels we can use, right? Let's go check it
بدنا
out
ناخدها
and take a
ترتاح.
rest.
No need. I simply need to find myself a secluded place in the wilderness to sit and meditate in silence.
You can't do that. It's dangerous out in the wild on your own. When you're hungry, you go eat something tasty. And when you're tired, you go lie down in a nice
بايمون قرارها
comfy bed.
تتدخل بكل شيء. يلا.
Seriously, don't
بايمون's right يلا.
Okay. If you insist.
Great! Now we're talking. Let's head.
أوكي. إلى أين سنأخذها؟ إلى مكان الإقامة. وأنا عم توصلني رسائل من الأصدقاء. يا أصدقائي عن جد عن جد بحاول أرد على الرسائل كلها، بس غالبا أنا بكون أونلاين بعمل بث، فصعب علي إني أكتب وأبث في نفس الوقت. أوكي. من هنا بالضبط. أنا خايف أقفز من هون بصراحة. وينه المكان؟ هذا هو. بس صغير يا أخي. ليدي نينغوانغ ما قدرت تعمل لنا بيت أكبر من هاد؟ ما قدرتي تعملي لنا بيت أكتر من هذا؟ يلا يلا ماشي. صديقي بدي أحكي معك أنا.
Hi there. Checking in, are we? You're just in time. We only have 2 rooms left. Since this was chosen as the building site for the new Jade Chamber, we've had a constant stream of people in this area. And not just workers either. Visitors, business people, tea sellers, all sorts. So, business is booming for me today. Very few vacancies. You're lucky you got here when you did.
أوكي فهمنا. ما عندك غرف فاضية. هلا خلصني.
Great!
One of your rooms is still being cleaned. I guess it should be ready within the hour. The other room is just through the door on the left. Here are your keys. All right. Hope you enjoy your stay. Please excuse
Okay,
me. I'll leave
bye.
you to it.
Shenhe, you should go get some rest. We'll hang around
أنتِ
outside
روحي.
until the other room's ready.
أنت تعبتي شلتي الحجرة الكبيرة.
Good to eat around here. Paimon couldn't help but notice one of the guests walk in with a huge grilled chicken drumstick before.
أنت كما يقال عندنا أنت فجعانة.
Let's buy one for Shenhe too. She can have it as a midnight snack, or save it for breakfast tomorrow.
أوكي تعالي نجيب دجاجة.
All right. I will head to my room for now. If you need anything, don't hesitate to disturb me. I'm a light sleeper. I will
Okay,
hear-
have a good rest.
See you
Bye.
tomorrow.
Hey, isn't that Cloud Retainer? What's she doing here? Let's go and say hi.
أوكي. يعني ما نجيب الدجاجة؟ بلكن إحنا جوعانين بدنا ناكل دجاجة. أوكي تعال نشوف شو بده هاد. بس أشيل الرسالة. ما فيني أشيلها؟ أوكي. راحت. راح أحط منتال نوت إني أرد على الرسائل. إن شاء الله أتذكر. أوكي. كلاود ريتينر.
One trusts you have met Shenhe. So, are you getting along quite well?
So far, so good. Yeah. So, you know Shenhe too, Cloud Retainer?
Naturally. Save for Ganyu, who spends the majority of her time in Liyue Harbor. All the adepti living today are
كلهم
acquainted
بيعرفوا
with
شنها.
Shenhe to some degree.
Cool. So, what's her adeptus name anyway? Calling her Shenhe feels kind of friendly, but also kind of disrespectful. So Paimon's thinking maybe it'd be better if we called her by her adeptus name instead.
شنها هو اسمها العادي مو اسمها الأدبتاي.
Her adeptus name. Why, pray tell, would Shenhe have an adeptus name?
Don't all adepti have a special special title they go by?
ما عنده؟
On this latter point, you are correct. However, Shenhe is human.
What? What? شنها هيومن؟ شلون؟
Oh, right. Wait, what?
I thought so.
What? You knew already? So is Paimon the only one who didn't know?
Do you mean to say that she presents differently from ordinary human beings?
هلا هي كان شكلها يعني مو بشر وبس كان بنفس الوقت مو أدبتاي شيء مختلف هي ما بعرف شيء.
To start with, her problem-solving methods are extremely direct.
طيب شلون قدرت تشيل الحجرة؟
Ah, yes. She was like this all those years ago when one first met her. In this respect, she has not changed. One first found Shenhe by chance in a cave. One was passing by and sensed the presence of a god's remains. Being of an ever-vigilant disposition, one entered immediately to inspect the scene. Inside was Shenhe, then aged around 6 years old. In her hand, she held a dagger with which she was confronting
كان
a
عمرها
monster
6 سنين لما
that was
لقاها.
the god's remains incarnate.
That sounds so dangerous.
كانت خطيرة من كانت صغيرة.
When one arrived, she had already been locked in confrontation with this monster for several days. Most mortal children are fragile, both physically and mentally. That she
قوية
was
كتير.
able to endure such terrible danger was due not only to her strong willpower, but also to the bloodlust and homicidal instinct.
What?
with which she
مجرمة
was
يعني
born.
شنها قوية خطيرة.
One dealt with the monster, yet she still
خطيرة.
refused to lower her guard. She even
In other words, if you hadn't passed by that day, Shenhe might have...
Not necessarily. Upon one's arrival, one could sense that the god's wrath was gradually receding.
That's still so dangerous, though. Why was a tiny little kid battling against the rest
مزبوط
of
ليش كانت عم تحارب حدا خطير لهالدرجة لحالها؟
Alas, the mortal world is rife with suffering of every kind, and she had experienced her fair share of this, even at a tender age. Seeing that she was homeless, one decided to adopt her. Indeed, it is one to... However, her homicidal urges did not subside
عندها
with
رغبات
age.
إجرامية.
Rather, they grew
عندها
stronger
حاجة
day by
إجرامية
day.
رغبة إجرامية.
Mooncarver once performed a divination for her. He declared that her fate is to bear the curse of calamity. Consumed by malevolent energy, the
طيب.
red ropes have indeed served to keep her calmer and more content. They also seem to have rendered her somewhat inexpressive. Perhaps the red ropes are so powerful.
أنا خايف تكون عم تسمعنا واستيقظت رغبتها الإجرامية ها
It is only
استيقظت.
by fate that people's paths may cross. Now that Shenhe's path has crossed with yours.
Oh, now Paimon gets it. You came out here to check up on Shenhe because you were worried about her, didn't you?
Huh. You dare draw such a facile conclusion on the nature of one's present excursion? Incorrect. The truth is that while Liyue Harbor may seem peaceful today, danger is... Ningguang once made a bold assertion that this is to be the era of the contract between Liyue and the humans. Well, one is most curious to observe how she will respond to the
يعني في
coming
عاصفة
storm.
قادمة. يعني برأيك في كارثة قادمة.
If she handles it admirably, one is willing to be a witness to her achievements. But if she does not, the Adepti shall not hesitate to seize control. Let us conclude our conversation here for today.
Okay.
One has occupied enough.
باي.
So, Shenhe isn't an Adeptus after all. She just grew up around the Adepti. Oh, no wonder she doesn't like being treated as an adeptus. Having everyone falling over themselves to show their respect all the time must be kind of hard to deal with.
مسكينة، الناس مفكرينها أدبتس وهي هيومن. أوكي 8 الصبح. تعال نستنى الساعة 8 الصبح. وين الساعة؟ هاي الساعة. نحن بأي ساعة هلا؟ 8 المساء. هاي 8 الصبح كونفيرم. حلوة هاي الساعة، كتير حلوة. هاي المسننات والشغلات اللي عم تتحرك كتير حلوة. اوكي صار الصبح.
Hey, so Shenhua.
Master has relayed my situation to you, I take it.
عرفتي؟
Oh? How did you know?
I'd intended to wait until you came back before going to sleep, but I didn't hear you come in. I was worried that something may have happened to you, so I went outside to check and caught sight of my master.
طيب طالما حكت لي أنا ثقتي فيها زادت. لو كانت ما حكت قدامي، طلعت برا بدون ما وشافتني بدون ما تحكي، يعني ممكن أشك فيها، بس هلا حكت قدامي فهذا الشيء ممكن يزيد ثقتي فيها نوعا
On
ما.
top of this, you have been acting very strangely around me this morning, causing me to suspect that my master must have told you everything about me. After all, master is...
Sorry, Shenhua. Paimon had you down as an adeptus this whole time, but it turns out Paimon was wrong.
It's okay. I don't mind. The fault
Okay.
is mine for not explaining everything to you sooner, because in my experience, trying to explain is a futile
ما
pursuit.
بعرف إذا لساتني بدي إياها، لأنه بعد ما اكتشفت إنه عندها رغبات إجرامية.
Still, though you mistook me for an adeptus, you never treated me as distant and unapproachable. Instead, you treated me as you would a friend. For this, I am very grateful indeed.
To be fair, we've met our fair share of real adepti too. Anyway, now it's settled. From now on, you're our friend. Whether you're an adeptus or a human isn't the important thing. First and foremost, we're just plain old friends.
والله أنا يعني ما
Although I
بعرف إذا بدي
don't know
أكون
quite
صديق
what it
لهي.
entails in terms of what I have to do, I must say I like the title friend very much indeed.
Great! Well, now that we're all rested up, we should start searching for the other 2 items on the list.
أخيرا رجعوني على القصة.
Sunset Vermilionite is so rare. Paimon doubts many competitors will really be able to find any. If it turns out some of them have given up already, we'll be able to take things a little more slowly.
أوكي هذا الشيء بيعني إنه اللعبة عم بتقول
And
لي
another thing, we bought some grilled chicken drumsticks on the way
المهمات
back
الجاية
last
رح تكون
night.
أبطأ.
There was a place just outside. Here's one for you, Shenhua. Try it. They're so good.
طيب بدهم
I concur.
دجاج.
It has a rich flavor, far more agreeable than those I've cooked for myself in the wilderness in the past.
هل نلغي شغلة الدجاج يعني؟ لازم أطلع لفوق صح؟
Look, look! The jade chamber is floating into the sky. But it
Wow.
seems to be tied down by something.
That's because it's not finished.
Hey, Byron! And hey! People Paimon doesn't know?
مين أنتو؟
Given the enormous scale of the Jade Chamber, we split the construction work into 2 phases to make sure the structure remains balanced. Before we find some suitable plastrite, we build the Jade Chamber's keel at ground level. Once the plastrite is ready, we place it into the keel and let the partially constructed Jade Chamber rise up to the height of the surrounding mountain peaks. The remainder of the construction work is then carried out at that altitude. Once everything is ready, we release the iron tethers and allow the Jade Chamber to rise to its target altitude.
أوكي طريقة غريبة للبناء.
Miss Bywin, we've brought some new materials to submit.
One moment, I'll be right there. The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plastrite provided by you. Lady Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more
طيب
of
إيش
your
رأيك
work.
تعطيني مكافأة؟ أعطيني شي شغلة.
Wow, can't believe you sourced the Plostrite so quickly. It's the key piece of the puzzle. Looks like you beat us to the punch.
هاي الممثلة صوتها نفس صوت ضحية، نفس الصوت، نفس الممثلة غالبا، الممثلة اللي مثلها الصوت هاي.
Wait, I know you. You're
صح.
the one who fought against the Vatuian Osile, right?
نفس الصوت.
Sure enough, your reputation precedes you. Pleased to meet you. I'm Beto, captain of the Crux.
Beto, are you here to join the Jade Chamber contest too?
Sure am. I happened to get my hands on a chunk of sunset vermilionite on a voyage a while back, so I figured I'd bring it over.
Huh.
Hmm.
So even though it's rare, we're not the only ones who managed to get a hold of it.
Oh, I've got some introductions to do. This is the renowned Miss Yoon, or Yoonjin, probably the most famous figure in the Liyue opera scene.
مغنية أوبرا. أوكي.
Greetings.
أهلين.
These two are Paimon and the Traveler. I'm sure you've heard of them before. And this is... sorry, I'm not sure we've met.
ما بتعرفيها؟ هي يعني الناس مفكرتها أدبتها يا أدمانة مشهورة.
Shenhe.
I am their friend.
Good to meet you. Well, from today on, I guess all of us are friends. Miss Yoon is also here for the contest. Turns out she needed to borrow a boat, so we came together.
It's an honor to finally meet you both. To be honest with you all, I am in great need of this opportunity to ask Lady Ningguang a question. That's why I joined the contest.
Wow. So it looks like the three of us are competitors.
هذيك بدها تسأل، بدها شاركت بالمسابقة مشان تسأل ليدي
Excuse
نينغوانغ.
me for prying, Miss Shenhe, but are you competing as well?
No, I don't have any questions for Ningguang. I just wanted to help her win.
In that case, I have a proposal to make. Lady Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials will be awarded the chance to ask a question. Well, there are 3 teams here. We can split the prize between us.
نتشارك يعني قصدك؟ ما في مشكلة. ما في مشكلة.
Instead
أوكي.
of competing against each other, we could work together to secure the top 3 places between us.
أوكي.
What do you think?
Sounds great, but how does it change things exactly?
كل واحد بيجيب ايتم.
I think I see where you're going with this, Miss Yoon. The Plostrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all 3 of us managed to get our hands on it. The 2 remaining items aren't quite so rare, so as long as one of us finds a way to source it, the other 2 can hop on the bandwagon. How'd I do? Is that what you had in mind?
Precisely.
Interesting. Okay then. All right, I'll go first. I have some leads on these wonder cores. From what I've heard, the core itself is really not that difficult to make. The hard part is getting hold of the ore used as raw materials. I'm gonna head back to the ship and ask Suling if he's heard of them.
طيب هي راح تتكفل بوحدة من
We'll head into
الشغلات.
town and seek advice from Master Zhang of Han.
طيب sounds good.
I'm gonna take off. See you later.
Okay, let's go. By the way, what question are you gonna ask Ningguang Yunjin?
إيه قولي لي إيش بدك تسأليها؟
I'm looking for a venue to host the performance of our new opera. Lady Ningguang has excellent judgment, so I would like to hear her opinion.
بس هيك؟
Ooh, what's the opera called? Paimon wants to go see it.
The opera is a labor of love by my father. It's called The Divine Damsel of Devastation.
لا تقولوا لي بدنا نروح نحضر الأوبرا. أوكي. إلى هنا معناتها تليبورت. كأنه ارتفع الادفنتشر رانك تبعي. ارتفع. لازم اروح لازم اخذ المكافأة تبع الادفنتشر رانك. بس نفضل. يا زلمة اللعبة كلها شغل من اول لاخر شغل. ايه وين لازم نروح؟ ايه نو. حلوة ليوة. كتير حلوة. بتذكر اول ما بدأت اللعبة وما كنت اول مرة بفوت على ليوة. عن جد كانت ايام حلوة.
Hello. Are you here for something off the shelf, or do you need something forged?
Excuse me, Master Zhang.
We were wondering if you'd heard of something called a Wonder Core.
Of course I have. Sorry,
My name is Yunjin. Perhaps you don't know me, but I believe that you forged some weaponry for my father in the past.
Yunjin?
طيب.
Sorry, my brain's... So, you're here to ask about Wonder Cores, huh? As it happens, I do know how to make them. Matter of fact, I made some for Lady Ningguang back when she was building the original Jade.
طب هلا معناتها بدها لازم ترجع تصنع لها
The
كمان.
types of ore needed...
No?
If I remember correctly, Lady Ningguang sourced her Star Splinter iron from the Mount Tianheng area. They say it resonates with visions.
اوكي هذا شيء مهم. resonate with visions معناتها أنا الوحيد اللي بقدر أشوفهم.
It could take some work, but if you stick with it, you'll find some eventually. As
طيب
for
where to start?
I'm really not sure. Sorry. What I've heard is that the people around Mount Tianheng have some sort of magic trick that can pinpoint the location of the stuff. Of course, it's probably just hearsay. If you want my advice, start by looking for Star Splinter iron around Mount Tianheng. And if you run into any locals, ask them a few questions about Sabrosi.
Mount Tianheng.
ماشي بنروح على الجبل.
Interestingly enough, the story of the divine damsel of devastation also takes place on that mountain. I hear the view there is quite spectacular. A favorite destination of the Adepti, in fact. Perhaps it can give me some inspiration. Let's not delay. We should head straight there.
اوكي لازم نروح على الجبل، والجبل فرجينيا وينه 500 متر هو هون. فخلينا اول شيء نعمل تيليبورت بعدين نشرح لكم ايش رح نعمل هلا. طيب انا حاسس انه هالمهمه خطيره، لذلك انا شايف انه لازم نطور الشخصيات قبل ما ينتهي الوقت، لانه انا بدي اطور الترافلر اهم شيء، وبدي اطور نويل. فرح اشوف هلا هاي 55 وهي 44. هاي 44. المشكله ما فيني اعمل لها السند، فما بعرف. هاي كمان عجبتني، هاي انا رافعها منيح وعطيها سلاح كويس. هذا القوس تبعها جيد جدا، 184 الدامج تبعه، يعني هذا اقوى سلاح عمليا عندي. 184 اذا بتلاحظوا اقوى سلاح هو السلاح اللي عندها لهي، فهي قويه. فبشوف انه ممكن اذا قويتها، خلينا نشوف، اذا قويتها ل 50 مثلا، نزل لي اياها وحده هيك، وراح اعطيها وحده من هدول الصغار. طيب اذا قويتها ل 50 يعني راح تكون يعني فكره جيده. المشكله ما فيني لسه اطورها لانه بدي هدول الايتمز، راح اشوف منين اجيبهم. اتوقع انه لازم احارب وحش مشانها. ليفل 30 كرايو هاد. اوكي هذا هذا بيخوف يا جماعه، هذا بيخوف. شو في عندي بالجايد؟ اوكي بنرجع. هي مشان موضوع ديونا، مشان موضوع نويل والترافلر. نويل كمان رح ارفع شوي لانه عم بستفيد منها كتير. نويل خصوصا بموضوع الدفاع كتير عم بتفيدني. ما في زر اضغط عليه مشان ازيد عدد ما في زر اضغطه اسوي 10 مثلا، ما في. طيب هيك شو الزيادة؟ بقدر ازيدها من هون. تمام. هاي نويل قوية عن جد. انا نويل كتير مبسوط منها عن جد، بستفيد منها كتير، خصوصا انه صار عندها هذا السيف اللي عجبني، سيف كويس. ضحية عند مرحلة معينة رح تصير ضعيفة، ما رح تعطيني القوة الكافية، لانه ما بقدر اطورها، ما بقدر اعمل لها السند ابدا لحتى اوصل على المكان اللي لازم اوصل له. فشايفين الايتمز تبعها كثير قلال. فعند مرحله معينه هلا صح هي 5 ستار وانا عم بستفيد منها لانيتها 5 ستار، بس بعدين راح اشيلها. سكروز و الترافلر. صح ديونا انا فاتح لها كونستليشن صح؟ اوكي. ترافلر ليفل اب، راح نرفعه كم ليفل؟ ما بعرف اذا بقدر ارفعه لل 60، ما بتوقع لانه عند مرحله معينه راح يخلصوا هدول اللي عندي. راح احاول اجمعهم بالحلقات كمان مشان انتم ما تستنوني وانتم لبين ما اطور لبين ما اجمع هدول. يلا ل 59 جيد، رفعناها شوي. هدول راح اتركهم، هدول ما كثير بيساعدوني. اوكي وهلا تطوروا، فرجيني هلا تطوروا كويس. طيب في الحلقه القادمه نحن رايحين الى الجبل مشان نبحث عن المكونات التاليه لتصليح الجيد تشامبر وهيك. فبتمنى تكون هالحلقه عجبتكم، اراكم في حلقه قادمه ومع السلامه.